It's 3 a.m. Your eyes snap open. The room is silent, but your mind is loud. You glance at the ceiling. You feel the weight of time pressing down. You know you should be asleep. Yet here you are, wide awake, restless, and anxious. This is not just you. Millions of older adults experience this nightly interruption. Doctors call it fragmented sleep. But to you, it feels like a thief in the night, stealing your rest, your energy, your peace. Why does this happen? Why does the body betray us as we age? The answer lies deep inside your biology. Imagine your body as a clock tower. At night, the gears shift, the pendulum slows, and the tower prepares for silence. Your core body temperature rises until late evening, then begins its descent. That drop is the signal, the whisper to your brain that it's time to release melatonin, the chemical key that unlocks sleep. But here's the twist. Around 1 to 3 a.m., the pendulum swings back. Your temperature begins to climb again, and with that climb, your sleep becomes lighter, more fragile. For younger people, deep sleep shields them from these fluctuations. But as we age, that shield thins. The result? You wake up. Sometimes once, sometimes multiple times. And now the real danger begins. Not the waking, but the struggle to return to sleep. Doctors warn that what you do in those fragile minutes can determine whether you drift back into rest or spiral into hours of frustration. The first mistake? Looking at the clock. It seems harmless. But the moment your eyes register the glowing digits, your brain begins its cruel arithmetic. It's 3:07. I have 4 hours left. Will I make it? That calculation triggers anxiety. Anxiety raises your heart rate. And here's the critical truth. You cannot fall asleep with a heart rate above 60 beats per minute. The clock is not your friend. It is your enemy. The second mistake? Reaching for your phone. That glowing rectangle is a trap. The light pierces your eyes, signaling your brain to wake. Notifications stir curiosity, pulling your thoughts into the world outside your bed. And once again, your heart rate climbs. The third mistake? Rising to go to the bathroom when you don't truly need to. The act of standing, walking, and returning elevates your pulse. Even small movements can sabotage your chance of slipping back into unconsciousness. And the fourth mistake? Turning on the lights. Artificial light is a false dawn. It tricks your circadian rhythm into believing morning has arrived. Your body, confused, resists sleep. These 4 mistakes are the silent saboteurs of your night. But if avoiding them is the first step, what comes next? Because the techniques you're about to discover don't just help you fall asleep. They can rewire the way your body responds to the night. And what happens next will change everything. So you've avoided the traps. You didn't check the clock. You resisted the phone. You stayed in bed. You kept the lights off. But still, your mind races. Your body feels restless. Sleep remains distant. This is where science meets strategy. Doctors reveal methods that act like keys, unlocking the door back to unconsciousness. The first is called 4 to 7 to 8 breathing. Simple numbers, profound effect. Picture this. You inhale for 4 seconds. You hold for 7. You exhale for 8. Slowly, gently, no force, just rhythm. Why does this work? Because shallow breathing keeps your lungs half empty. Your heart must beat faster to circulate oxygen. But when you fill your lungs completely, your heart slows. Your pulse drops. And remember, the magic threshold is 60 beats per minute. Cross that line and sleep becomes possible again. Doctors say even if you cannot reach 60, lowering your heart rate by 10 to 15 beats can make a dramatic difference. It's like dimming the lights in a theater. The stage prepares for silence. But breathing alone is not enough. The mind must also be tamed. That's where the second technique enters. Mental distraction. Counting backward from 300 by threes, 300, 297, 294, 291. It sounds absurd, yet it works. Why? Because the brain cannot obsess over worries while performing this simple arithmetic. It is a distraction, a gentle trick, and as numbers fade, so does consciousness. The third technique is progressive muscle relaxation. Imagine your body as a series of switches. You tense your toes, hold, release. You move to your calves, hold, release. Then your thighs, your torso, your arms, your face. Each releases a signal. Tension dissolves, calm spreads. Older adults often carry hidden stress in their muscles. This technique teaches the body the difference between tension and relaxation. It is a physical meditation, guiding you back into rest. And then comes the most profound concept, non-sleep deep rest. This is not sleep. It is something in between. A state of lying still, breathing slowly, heart rate lowered, eyes closed. Research shows that 1 hour of this state equals 20 minutes of restorative sleep. It is proof that even if sleep does not return, rest can still heal. Imagine lying in the dark, knowing that your body is still repairing, still restoring. That knowledge alone can ease the anxiety of wakefulness. And these techniques are not gimmicks, they are lifelines. But what if the problem is deeper? What if the reason you wake is not just age, but something hidden? Because the next revelation exposes a silent condition that affects millions, and most don't even know they have it. Stay with me, because the truth may shock you. Doctors warn that sometimes waking at 3 a.m. is not just biology, it is a symptom, a red flag. That condition is sleep apnea. Imagine this. You're asleep, but your airway collapses, breathing stops. Your brain panics, jolts you awake, you gasp, you turn, you drift back. And then it happens again, over and over. 4 out of 5 people with sleep apnea don't even know they have it. They simply wake tired, groggy, unfocused. They blame age, they blame stress. But the truth is more sinister. Sleep apnea is linked to heart disease, memory decline, and even shortened lifespan. It is not just about sleep, it is about survival. The good news? Testing is easier than ever, no need for a sleep lab. No wires in a hospital bed. Modern home sleep tests allow you to measure your breathing from the comfort of your own bedroom. Within days, you can know the truth. And if apnea is present, treatments exist, machines, mouthpieces, lifestyle changes that can restore not only your sleep, but your health. Doctors urge, if you snore, if you wake exhausted, if you feel foggy during the day, get tested. Because ignoring apnea is like ignoring a fire alarm, but let's return to the night itself. Imagine you wake at 3 a.m. You've avoided the traps. You've tried the techniques. You've ruled out apnea. Yet still, sleep resists. Here's the paradox. Sometimes the harder you chase sleep, the further it runs. That is why acceptance matters. Knowing that even if sleep does not return, rest can still heal. Knowing that lying quietly, breathing slowly, is not wasted time. It is recovery. Doctors call this reframing. Psychologists call it cognitive shift. It is the art of changing your perspective. Instead of fearing the night, you embrace it. Instead of panicking, you surrender. And in that surrender, sleep often returns naturally. Think of history's great minds. Thomas Edison, Winston Churchill, Benjamin Franklin. All reported fragmented sleep. They used their wakeful hours to reflect, to breathe, to rest. And yet they thrived. You're not broken. You are human. But the story is not over. Because the final chapter reveals how to build a night routine so powerful. It can transform not just your sleep, but your entire life. Rehook. Because the ultimate secret is not what you do at 3 a.m. It's what you do before midnight. And the next part will reveal the blueprint. The battle for sleep does not begin at 3 a.m. It begins hours earlier. Doctors emphasize the importance of a night routine, a ritual that prepares the body and mind for rest. Imagine dimming the lights an hour before bed. Imagine shutting down screens, silencing notifications, letting the world fade. Imagine sipping warm tea, reading a calming book, practicing gentle stretches. These are not luxuries. They are signals. Signals to your brain that night has arrived, that rest is near. Your body craves rhythm. Just as the sun rises and sets, your biology thrives on patterns. Go to bed at the same time. Wake at the same time. Protect that rhythm like a sacred ritual. And when you wake at 3 a.m., remember, you are not alone. Millions share this struggle. But millions also find relief through science, through discipline, through acceptance. The techniques, breathing, distraction. So remember, waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't have to steal your night. With the right breathing, focus, and relaxation, you can calm your body, quiet your mind, and drift back into sleep. If this helped you, hit subscribe and join us for more doctor-backed sleep strategies. Sweet dreams, and take back your nights.